earning the very first AEW National Championship.
Okay, guys, we are soon going to dive into this whole situation of Tony Khan creating a brand new AEW National Championship for AEW, but there is a little bit of problem that's going to stop him from doing all this. We're going to talk more about the locker room.
I'm tired of being humble. I'm tired of letting people think they got a chance. The tribal chief is head and shoulders above everybody.
Hey, guys, we back at the locker room. Toss Ring Scandal, a.k.a. KDH, Turnbuckle King in the building. We will talk about the new AEW national title situation. It's the same. Tony Khan being called petty. You guys tune in because it's definitely some locker room news. Going to air some dirty laundry on this one. Now, we know Tony Khan just announced on this week's Dynamite episode, him and Tony Schiavone announced that at Full Gear, it'll be a casino gauntlet match to crown the inaugural AEW National Champion. The titles originally stem from the National Wrestling Alliance in the 80s, hasn't appeared on TBS Network, and was previously merged with the United States title. Now, this whole thing has started with a lot of criticism, and AEW and NWA has fired back. They said that the whole reason for this is to get revenge on the previous legal dispute between the two promotions. I quote, "This is the lamest thing in history of wrestling." This is Idol said, and he said that it's a whole thing between these two. So this is actually more. Let's see more of what he had to say, and we are referring to Austin Idol, who's the original champion. He also said that it's just basically ridiculous what AEW is doing. Now, NWA had a show called Shockwave. And then AEW tried to do a show called Shockwave. It was rumored, but it never really got off. And the thing about the whole situation with that is they think that Tony Khan is creating his championship just to get back at NWA. Now, the current champion here, his name is Mike Mondo. He's the current NWA National Wrestling Champion. Now, it's also saying, too, he actually put out a tweet. He put a tweet out online, and it said here that he said, I quote, "The smart mark said NWA sucks no more. We are going to have a new NWA National Championship tournament." Long story short, he's saying he's the original champion. There's only one NWA if you guys read the rest of it. Now, with the history of this championship, it started in Georgia Championship Wrestling back in the 80s. This is the history of the NWA National Wrestling Championship, and with the history of the championship, it went on from 80 and it continued on. Now, don't get confused with the NWA United National Championship. That is not the same championship. This is a championship that was held by Ted DiBiase. That's not the same title. This is the real title right here, which is called, once again, is called the NWA National Heavyweight Championship. Like I said, this is the belt. And I know it's similar to the old WWE or WWF World Heavyweight Championship. I'll read more what Idol had to say about it. Now, he said that AEW Tony Khan trying to use the NWA National Championship as one of their belts, pretended as we don't currently have the originator and the original champion, Austin Idol, and the current national champion, Mike Mondo, on the active NWA roster. And then Idol also said that, alleging that the new title reveal was a deliberate response to the lawsuit that NWA filed against AEW, one that forced AEW to abandon their plans for the rumor Fox project AEW Shockwave, which I just explained a few minutes ago. So, it said the use of the word Shockwave program as a name of program was originally owned by the race of NWA. That's why it never came out for AEW when they announced that it would, because it got hit with a lawsuit. That's what Idol said. And they know better than that. Now, also, he said that he also said too that this is retaliation for AEW. Already currently losing lawsuits to NWA over the use of intellectual property. So now they have to stir the pot by trying Tony Khan's Richie Rich announced this tonight. Khan is bad enough that you're clearly a money mark who bought his way to the business. They don't respect that. But even worse, that you will blatantly try to steal the legacy of another existing company because you try to perceive it to be something as you buy your way out of court. Pathetic. And he said, Tony, this is beneath you. Stick to what made you famous. Small, weird, hands in the pocket wrestlers and why all the VFW guys that put you in main events. Stop being petty, bro. So this is really, really ridiculous. Tony Khan, you knew that NWA had a show called Shockwave, and if you didn't, you should have did your research first. You cannot use the same name for your show as theirs, try to get back at them, because now it's going to cost you lots of money for this lawsuit. Even if you do have lots of money, it doesn't even matter. Now, we do know, too, that there is Chris Masters actually held this championship, who formerly in WWE. He was in NWA. He actually won his championship. He talked a little bit about that championship and going challenge for the NWA's World Heavyweight Championship with Chris Van Fleet here.
AEW National Champion, the masterpiece, Chris Adonis!
Looped into some tweet the other day where NWA was asking like who should get a title shot this year for the World's Heavyweight Championship. And I said, what about Chris Adonis? And then NWA says, we like the sound of that. And then Tyrus is like, you should be the special guest referee. So I feel like somehow here we have invented a storyline.
Yeah, you're being roped into this one. And like, yeah, big time again. Like,
I'm in.
Yeah, I just wonder who your allegiance is going to be to. But like, no, that's a serious thing. You know, like one of my goals, you know, we talked about like the Rumble and stuff like that. But, you know, my real personal goal is like, you know, through NWA and the work I've worked a lot internationally. I'm about to go to France. I just came back from Pakistan. Like, it's honestly been, and I wrote this in a post, but like, and everything is perspective. But like I said in a post, like this has been by far the most fun I've had in professional wrestling. And it has, because of everything I've told you before this. My perspective is so different coming out of the pandemic, after getting in touch with the fan in me, after, you know, and going out there every night and having like pride and trying to go out there and put the best match out possible that you can. And you know what I mean? So, I mean, these are the things that truly motivate. How did I even get on this? Sorry.
Well, we're talking about you winning the championship.
Oh yeah. So that, through NWA the last year, and you know, anybody can look at the tapes. You can go on YouTube and see the matches. Like, I feel like I've put on some of the best matches career, and honestly, I feel like I'm one of the best workers in the business when it comes to believability, athleticism, selling, and like, you know, I've just raised the bar and like, you know what I mean, in all those little aspects. So like, going forward, I mean, for me, like my main goal beyond everything else is, you know, to hold that 10 pounds of gold. I think it might be 12 pounds now, just because they updated it.
Still call it the 10 pounds.
We could call it the 10 pounds of gold.
My friend Matt Schoolfield, who owns Fandu Belts, he designed the new design.
Here's the funny thing. You know, when I got into pro wrestling, everything was so like handy.
That was Chris Masters on Chris Van Fleet. He talked a little about having a championship. He just talking about challenging for the NWA's World Heavyweight Championship. I just wanted to show that because he is one of the men that has held that championship in recent memory. This was dated back to 4 years ago. Tony Khan, I don't know what the hell is going on with you, man. Why is it that you always put your foot in your mouth? At first, you was talking crap about WWE. You didn't ignore them. You let them get to you. That allowed WWE to counter program against your programs for the better half of this year. You let them take all your talent away and make them champions in the name of Ethan Page, Ricky Saints, Jay Cargill, Blake Monroe, and former AEW talent that was originally from WWE. For most of you already know, Cody Rhodes and CM Punk. Now, you already went through that phase. You know, then the TNA partnership that y'all had at first, WWE took that from under your nose as well. Now we're going through this whole thing where NWA did what they're supposed to do in the business-wise. They had the rights to the Shockwave name. You guys did not. And then you tried to use their championship without their permission. This is another lawsuit. Why bring that kind of attention on yourself? Not only you're hurting yourself and your company, Tony Khan, you are also potentially, now I know WWE, they do not own this championship right now. They don't have the rights to the championship, because I know Jim Crockett Promotions did have some type of ownership that went to NWA, and then later on WCW and WWE. But WWE does not own Jim Crockett Productions any longer. They do not own that company. I looked it up. They don't own that company at all. But you guys, Tony Khan, AEW, after being in business 6 years, what the hell did you learn this whole time, really? And you saw that WWE, they owned it from 2001 to 2022. It was revised later by Jim Crockett, his family of members back in 2022. So you lucky WWE does not have ownership to this company. You are lucky for that, because you would be in some real deep stuff if it wasn't for that. But this don't make any sense, Tony Khan. You really need to get off your high horse. I do see what Idol said about Tony Khan. You do come off like a Richie Rich. You are a rich kid that has money from your father who owns the Jacksonville Jaguars, and you think you can just do whatever you want. Now, for those you don't know, for NWA is actually the whole wrestling company that started it all. The whole company started it all. And when NWA, if you look at companies like WWE, WCW, TNA, they all had championships and some type of partnership with NWA when they jump-started their company. AEW is the only company I noticed, especially in recent memory, that never had any type of partnership or anything with NWA, knowing that they're the most standard wrestling company when you first got into the business. And as he said in that quote, one of the quotes, you try to buy your way through everything, but you cannot just buy your way and get whatever you want. You got to work your way, and you got to do business properly. Hopefully Tony Khan learned his lesson on this, because it may get to the point, I don't even think Tony Khan's going to do this tournament after they send a letter from NWA to AEW regarding his title. I don't know, it looked just, I hope he has a whole different design. But this is real petty. Tony Khan, you have enough titles as is. You have the AEW World title. You just had the Continental title merged with the unified title that was the Continental title and also the International title. You have the TNT title. I mean, how many titles do you need, really? You got all these tag team trios titles. They got ROH, their titles. This is really petty, and Tony, you need to grow up. You need to think like a businessman and don't get in your emotions and your feelings so much. But this is going to bring AEW down. If this stuff really goes into court, like I believe it's going to be, this is going to bring AEW down. Now, AEW, honestly, you should be coming up right now, especially with the price gouge and the high ticket sales of WWE and the poor storytelling and the book and everything as of late. This is your time to rise, and really, you pull some stupid shit like this. So get it together, Tony Khan. I really hope you do. I really hope you get it together, because this is not it. This is not it. Yeah, so I really hope Tony Khan gets this together, because this is terrible. And then you may end up helping NWA in more ways you could imagine. But other than that, this is all for the AEW National title situation. It's insane. Tony Khan called petty. You guys let me know what you think of this whole situation. Click the link below to the next video, guys. You already know what it is at this point. It's OUT.